And this video is from last May when Dr. Bardon and I went down and visited Ozark Mountain Ginseng. And so, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Ozark Mountain Ginseng, it is this wonderful character of a guy that goes by the name Lindy, and he has a passion for growing ginseng and other woodland medicinals. And so, he was kind enough to allow us down on one of his properties where he walked us around and showed us different ginseng plantings that are in different stages of growth, explained a little bit about his methods and how he produces ginseng. And some key elements to consider when growing ginseng. And so the video is a little tour of his space with some of his wisdoms that he wanted to share with us, and I'm forwarding on to you today.
Walking in the trail, I don't know if you'd want that anyway, all the time. That's you got a picture of that now?
Yes.
Okay, these are 70 years old that I got from Pigman Ranch. I actually lived there, and I take the seeds from these and plant them out in the woods, which we'll see that later.
Okay.
And keep the wild strain going. You know, I don't know how many people are actually trying to keep the wild strain going, and where people are actually digging ginseng out in the woods, and right now it's $600–700 a pound for wild root. I think it's the middle of September. And so back 7–8 years ago, price of ginseng dried was $1,200 a pound. And so that's when it really got over harvested. So here's some bloodroot too.
Is this a little ginseng?
No, that's a different plant, but there's one there. See it?
Okay. I was wondering, because it kind of looks like Virginia creeper, but it also doesn't.
Yeah, that's a different one, but Virginia creeper, you're going to see a lot of that. This is a nice bloodroot patch, and then we'll come and get the seeds here when they start to burst. You can see the pods there. And these pods, when they start to burst, well, they're getting close. They're starting to do it. I'm going to have to get...
Oh.
Yeah, this one here already... See here. That's one of the pods. And I was out here Sunday and hadn't done that yet. So these are the seeds here on this leaf. I can bring them up. That's the bloodroot seed here. So we'll plant this right away. And a lot of them look like I already fell. I can probably open one up. Show you better. There we go.
Oh.
That's the bloodroot seed. And it's a moist seed. And so you have to plant it right away. And you can see there's quite a bit of seed in there. And all this will go back out in the woods, but since I got this here, I'll just plant it right here. And not all of them might not come up, but if you let that seed dry out, then it's never going to come up. The Native American, the Cherokees, they used to know to plant. Okay, that's a ginseng right there. To plant the seeds off the roots. The Cherokees were actually the first farmers of ginseng, because they used their ginseng roots and traded it for goods and whatever. And they knew they needed to plant the ginseng seed. Ginseng seed in the wild, if you just let it fall to the top of the leaves, it might dry up and never sprout. So it's really ginseng people that are harvesting ginseng root, it's their responsibility to take that seed and plant it a good foot or two away from the parent plant. See how it spreads. This is a medicinal root also. $1 a pound is all they pay for that, for the mayapple.
Do you know much about eating the fruit? Because I've heard mixed reviews on.
I've ate it when I read a book by Yule Gibbons, Living Off the Land. and he had ginseng in there also. And when it gets real ripe, it's kind of lemony. And I ate fish out of the river and anything. Then I'd go to the store and get cornbread and cook it in my skillet though. I'd get the flour. This was all ginseng at one time in a harvest. You can't really grow ginseng in the same ground more than once, but there's a waiting period. If you wait 20 to 30 years, it's possible. So some of the ginseng beds we have, we're not harvesting and taking the seed from them and just putting it back right in the ground like you would in the wild. There's some of those back there. Let's just walk around this way. This is the way it's going. Trail used to be over there. This is lady here. Now, I've been working with the extension office on how to grow it, and it isn't easy. This isn't in flower yet because it came up so late. This one last year come up with 7 flowers.
Do you know what kind of lady slipper?
Yes, the showy yellow. Orchids are hard to grow, but I wanted to have some here. Here's golden seal from seed right there. This is the southern slope in here. That ginseng will grow on the southern slope to some extent if it's got enough shade. Golden seal. And there's bloodroot seed. That bloodroot came from that seed up that we saw at the top of the hill. See all the baby golden seal?
Yeah.
All this was from golden seal seed. The black cohosh will flower in about July.
Do you know how old these plants are?
When I got them from our other farm, they're probably 10 or 12 years old. And they can grow pretty old. I mean, I've seen black cohosh this tall with big old roots as big as your fist. So here's a couple May apples, and you can see more bloodroot up in there. This is an eastern slope. Ginseng grows good on an eastern slope.
Seems like a lot of medicinal seeds.
I'll show you some bigger golden seal. We'll head towards more ginseng also. These beds I harvested already, but there's still ginseng in here forever. See it? The difference between this ginseng grow bed, what we're doing is we're taking the ginseng seed from these plants and just putting it back in the ground. And see how they're doing okay?
Yeah.
See, there's one there. There's one up in the middle. There's another one over to the right. So we'll see bigger patches coming up. So here's the ginseng growing with it. Golden seal and ginseng are good companion plants. Where ginseng is growing with the golden seal, there's less diseases. So you're going to see some grow beds where there's better ground. It's along that creek bed where a lot of times there is better ground.
Okay. So how do you harvest and where do you sell?
Well, the harvesting, when the root, we always wait till it's 10 or 12 years old, and then that way it's got enough rings to go for the high-end woods grown price. And if the more the ginseng looks like the wild, the more towards the wild price you can get. Now some folks try and grow their ginseng 3 or 4 or 5 years, but you might only get 100 or 200 a pound. So you got to grow it 10 or 12 years. Now we grow ginseng 20 to 30 years, and that's really what you want to try and do. It's a long-term investment. Most people don't want to get into ginseng because it takes too long to grow. You have to kind of like it, but there's people that grow acres at a time. You know, we've got 30 acres at our other farm. It's a 40-acre tract, and we got a perimeter to keep out the wild pigs. So we started that in 1983. So let's head towards the seedlings. Right here, see the whole. It's a shame the sun ain't out. It look like it might pick up for you. The ginseng seedlings only have 3 leaves, and kind of like a wild strawberry plant. Here's one that's a little older, the one that was left over. Ginseng likes growing around old logs, and you can tell that's a decomposed log. So I'll start expanding and planting more ginseng in here. There's golden seal over there.
So for this bed, did you do anything before planting the seeds or just scatter them?
This here I took a sharp hoe and just dug it up, but we use a rear-tine rototiller, and some of these grow beds you'll see over here, and we make 6 to 8, 10-foot wide grow beds and go around the trees, and you'll see that up coming up here. That's it for that. Then next year they'll grow another set of leaves. Okay, I'm walking into ginseng. So just watch that and try and step around it. See, that's what a 2-year-old would look like. Even a 3-year-old sometimes. It takes a while to. In the woods it grows slower. Up in Wisconsin, north of here, and Minnesota, northern Illinois, they grow ginseng in the fields under lath, and that kind of ginseng only sells for 20, 30, 40 bucks a pound. Where woods grown ginseng is.
No, she's from Minnesota, so
Did you see the ginseng farms there?
Not where I'm from.
Wausau, Wisconsin, a lot of places in Wisconsin. But there's some, they grow ginseng in the wild, in the woods in Minnesota. You know, it grows there.
Yeah.
These are all about 5 or 6 years old here. All these in here. And see, I just go in between the trees, and this we tilled up with a rear tine tiller. And all the way down the slope we've got ginseng growing all the way up and down. Here's a good picture here from here. There's some more. This is the top of that grow bed that goes all the way down. I tilled all this up.
Oh, wow.
And those are some nice ones there. I don't weed them or nothing. You know, I just let, unless something's real, needs to be taken care of. Now I'll show you some ginseng that's probably about 10, 12 years old over here.
This is ginseng and Valencia.
And here's some 10 and 12-year-old ginseng right here. So you could get some good pictures of that all the way.
Is this still ginseng or something else?
That's ginseng.
Really? The leaf pattern is different.
it's nutritional, I would think, between this one and this one.
Well, the leaves can be like that.
Because there's another one down there that's kind of paler. Or like, it looks more variegated because of the color difference.
We've got 2 more acres this way, but I figured this is enough to show you the idea. It actually gets deeper and the further down the creek bed, it even gets better ground. This ground right in here is, when I tilled it up, it was sandy loam. So it had sand in it. And there's some more big ones here that are worth a picture. That's right in here to take pictures. So you see all the ginseng? That's 10 and 12-year-old ginseng. Sargota is your name?
Sugata.
Want to step over here if you want. You can come by me and get closer right in here if you want. Just be careful.
So do you have more demand than what you can supply?
I don't harvest ginseng every year.
No, but whenever, I mean, so which means you have more demand.
Well, there's a good demand for ginseng seed and dried ginseng. In China is where 75 to 80% of America's ginseng goes to, even if it's cultivated, woods grown, or wild. It doesn't make any difference. It depends upon how things are going with the politics and economics of China, and we all know how that can be. Though that's who gets the ginseng, and by the time it gets to them, it's even more expensive.
Right.
You know, I mean, it goes through brokers and this and that. Though the demand is there, and as medicine, European medicine, they've used ginseng. Ginseng's been used for cancer patients. Ginseng actually helps normalize the body organs. It's good for the body organs, you know, heart, lung, and everything. It can be used in diabetes to help lower blood sugar, so there's a big demand for it. And oh yeah, it has to be the right type of person that likes the outdoors, that likes the woods, that's willing to take a rear tine tiller or a small tractor into the woods and working up the ground. Now there is some ground in Missouri. Now when you on that side over there, the ground's looser, and at our other farm is along 11 Point River. Sometimes you can get ground that is you can stick your hand in.
Okay.
That's real. In fact, Columbia's got that there up north. Some of the customers there that planted, they can just work the ground up a little bit, toss the seed in, and then rake it in. So, you know, some places are easier to plant than others. Though here, I have to use a rear tine tiller to really help and it helps them grow bigger. But you can tell this is some of the best ginseng since we've been walking. And I got a couple more acres that are even some bigger than this. And right now we've got everything paid off, so I plan on letting a lot of this grow as long as I can. Yeah, this ground.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, you can till it up fairly easy. And it's got rocks in there too. Any rock that's bigger than my fist, I toss out. The smaller rocks, that's good for drainage. And see the leaf mold there? That leaf mold really helps ginseng.
That's a big chunk of it.
Yeah, see, that's why I till the leaves in the ground. It's because I actually till the mulch. And I till that leaf mold in the ground, and it helps the ginseng, and it's going to get more leaves on top and make more leaf mold anyway. If you try and rake the leaves back and then toss the seed out and rake the leaves back, well, in the winter time, the wind's going to blow all the leaves away. So it makes more sense to actually till the ground in.
And you do all of that in the fall time frame?
I do it from usually when it cools down. I don't work in the summer. Ginseng planting takes place from September, October, all the way to February. That's the best time. After the middle of February, the ginseng seed actually starts to sprout, and when it's sprouting, it's gonna have a good chance of drying up and not making it. After April 1st, forget about trying to plant. But I say middle of February.